Okay, hi guys. We're going to take a look at the htaccess file in this particular setup. So, just to get things started, I'm going to start up our server because I just rebooted this machine. So we're going to be looking at the Wampserver for this this particular example. And once our server starts up, we're going to go in and take a look at our web directory. You can see we have a couple of test folders made up that we created as we were kind of working through some of our other examples that you saw in the other videos. We're just going to try one of these folders, make sure they're actually present, where we've been playing around with the configuration files. And let's see which one we'll try. We'll try the test folder. So we can see test folder is working. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into test folder and we're going to create a file. Now normally if I'm doing this on my own machine, I'm actually doing it using a program called VI, but I'll use Notepad for here. Now this is going to give me one little bit of a problem, so I'm just going to leave it as new file type for a second. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go to my folder options and and tell it to let me see things. So what I did is I turned the hidden extensions for the file types on, that way I'm able to change my endings, and then the other thing I did is I told it to show me hidden files, although that part's not as important. So the reason I did that is I want this to be called .htaccess. Now it's not letting me do it, so I'm going to cheat, open up my document, and save it as, in quotes, .htaccess. Then I'll remove this file here. Now that's one of the little pains in the butts of changing or playing around with that particular file. So when I go to refresh here, you're going to notice that you still don't see anything. Well, that's because the .htaccess file is defined as being hidden inside your HTTP config file. I'll show you where that's done a little bit later. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to edit this file, and I'm going to use Notepad. I'm going to select always use Notepad for now. And just to see that htaccess file is working, I'm going to randomly type some letters and save it. When I come back to my folder and I hit refresh, I should get an error. This is a 500 error. You can see 500 internal server error. The reason for this error is that the server doesn't know what directive whatever I just typed was. So by me doing that, I know 100% for sure that the .htaccess file is being processed. You'll always need to do that the very first time that you try to use a .htaccess file in a particular folder. Okay, we'll refresh again. You can see everybody's happy. So we know we got our htaccess files folder set up. We know we're good. We're just going to come over here for 1 second to see it in the HTTP config file. Do a quick search for it. So there's a couple of directives that you'll see in play here. The allow override set to all means that for this server, anywhere is allowed to, at least in this directory, which is my cwamp www directory, I'm always able to override with a htaccess file. You'll notice when we take a look at a Linux system that that's not going to be the case by default, but for our Wampserver that is the default. The other thing we want to do is we want to take a look here. This is the reason why we don't see the htaccess file in this folder, is because we're saying that if anything matches .ht to begin with, we're going to say deny everything and no matter what. So that means just don't let people see that file. And that's done for security reasons, so the web server just doesn't offer those files up to the web browsers. Depending on how you set your some of your database stuff up later, you can do this with a lot of different config files inside of your setup to keep your configuration files from being downloadable. So it's something to keep an eye on. Not a real big deal at this very second. We're going to take a look at a couple other things in our next couple of videos, which include setting up password protected directories and directories that require you to be a member of a group, so kind of a more advanced password configuration. But in either case, they're both considered to be basic authentication. So I'm going to stop the video at this point so it doesn't get too long. I'll just kind of continue on from here in the next one. Talk to you again soon.